So why build a net zero home if you have super carbon intensive materials that are going into it, right? It's like going on a diet, but I'm gonna binge and get really large on purpose before this diet. It doesn't make sense. So that is why in this build, we went mostly spray foam free. Literally the only spot we spray foamed is like a section of a rim joist that we missed the air barrier. But with that said, we went spray foam free, and the only rigid foam we used was recycled EPS that we got from the hospital project. So we used all flexible materials for the air barrier. So we have the Vanna tape, and then the Intello Plus. So this in combo with this makes it super flexible. So the building moves. Like if you spray foam the whole thing, spray foam cracks. And I don't have a piece of spray foam, but obviously, you know, if you hold it and you move it, it's gonna snap. So therefore the tightness of that home, if it was all spray foamed, is probably degrading over time. It is degrading over time. So not only is it for longevity factor, but there's also the global warming potential factor. Shout out real quick, this book is awesome and definitely helped in a lot of the decision making for our products. Here you see materials and their carbon footprint. So a lot of things, well, I guess the blowing agents have a global warming potential. That's called a GWP spray foam. You can see this is its blowing agent 1030. And then you got XPS here, so that's a rigid, closed cell rigid, the highest 1430. And then you can see the EPS still has a global warming potential, but it's much lower. And then cellulose does not have a blowing agent, so it is 0. Okay, so yeah, when you think about your products, you definitely want to think about the carbon footprint of those products. You know, you want to think about the distance it's gonna travel to come to the project. You want to think about the off-gassing that it's going to have while it's installed in your home. And then obviously, yeah, these blowing agents are huge. And that is also why, you know, some of the refrigerant is changing in heat pumps. So there's definitely a lot to think about. But as far as the air barrier and insulation goes for the Yeti Cooler House, we try to go as carbon negative as possible.